this is Russ. Yep, I'm back out on the road again. What are we riding today? This is the Freedare Eden. Freedare Eden. Yeah, it's a torque sensor bike, right? Yeah, Freedare Eden is the one that has a lot of connectivity to an app. I'm going to tell you that you don't need the app to ride the bike. The app does a lot of things, but it's not absolutely necessary to have it on when you're riding the bike. I think sometimes people forget this. They think, oh, I can't ride bikes that have apps. You gotta have it on all the time. No, you don't. The app basically helps you out in certain things. Like, for instance, if somebody is moving your bike, stealing your bike, doing whatever it is to your bike, it'll send a signal to your app and tell you that that's happening. Yeah, and it could do other things too. You know, it can keep track of your ride and all sorts of other stuff. So, but you don't have to have it on if you don't want to. Nothing says you have to do it. Right now I don't have it on. I actually have my Apple Maps on. I mean, it has a map system on the app too, but I decided I would make this video without an app, just to show people that it's not totally necessary, unless you want to, of course. So where am I headed today? Well, I've got a car behind me, so let me speed up here. I've been pedaling this whole time, getting up to this point, and I decided I would try to pedal a little bit more on this ride than I typically do, because I need the exercise. Yeah, we all need the exercise. Don't tell me you don't. You do. We'll see how it goes. I mean, if I tire out, I'll start throttling a little bit, and then I'll go back and pedal a little bit. So where are we headed? Well, it's about 61 degrees out right now. However, it did say that today it might go as high as 80 degrees. I don't know if it really will, but that's not until late afternoon, of course. So I figured, let's head out early this morning. It's 8 o'clock, 8:48, sorry. 8:48 in the morning. And I figure I'd head towards Bussy Woods. Now,
at the next stop sign, turn right.
Now I don't plan to go into Bussy Woods, but I'm gonna ride towards it. Now, if we have enough battery, or if it at least looks like we have enough battery, then maybe I'll go a little bit into it. I can't do the whole Bussy Woods and come back home. Not on one battery, okay? Now there's a 20 amp hour battery here, but this is the only battery I have. I don't have a secondary battery on here. And as you know, when I do some distance rides, I need that second battery. I can't do it. I can't do it on a single battery. So you might be asking, well, why don't you have a second battery for this bike? Well, I'm new to this Freedare. Can't ask him for a second battery when I'm totally brand new. Gotta prove yourself. So how do you prove yourself? Well, you guys gotta buy some Freedare bikes. You buy some Freedare bikes and they say, hey, you know, Russ's channel is helping us sell bikes. Yeah, maybe they'll send me another battery. You never know. But until that time happens, we're on the single battery. Now, the thing is if I pedal most of this, or at least a good chunk of it, it should help me on my battery. And maybe we can get there and then get back, but I don't know whether we can get in there. So the whole thing is Bussy Woods is 12 miles around. If you add in my ride to get there and my ride to get back, plus the 12 miles, I would never make it. The thing is if you were if you were a lightweight rider like my wife is, yeah, no problem. I mean, she did that entire bike to drive thing last year on one battery. And that battery is like a 15 amp hour battery. She did it in one battery. I did it on a 20 amp hour battery, and I was on my second battery. So really, if you're able to pedal most of it, keep your pedal assist levels down, you can go some distance. Now, of course, I'm heavier than her. I'm way heavier than she is. I am, let me see, how much heavier am I than her? I'm more than twice her weight, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I am currently 238 pounds. Now, remember last year, I was hovering in the 260-ish area. I always called it 260-ish because I was always afraid to look at the scale to find out exactly how much over 260 are you. Well, it turned out I was about 268 degrees, 268 pounds. And so that wasn't good. And then with the recent diagnosis of health issues, I had to go on a strict diet. And that's kind of helped out a lot. So I'm down 30 pounds now. I'm about 237.6 right now. I kept going up and down like a pound or two from the 30 pounds loss. But I weighed myself this morning before I got on this bike. I said, let's see what it is. 237.6. That's a little over 30 pounds loss, right? So that should, of course, help my range a bit. I mean, 30 pounds is significant. I mean, people who haven't seen me in a while have said, wow, you have lost some weight. Oh yeah, I'm actually back to the general range I was when many years ago I went on a diet when I was still teaching photography at my photography school. And I'd lost 50 to 57 pounds. So now all those clothes that I wore then fit me now. And that's what I'm wearing now. I'm wearing the pants and stuff from back then. I couldn't fit it after I'd gained the weight back. But you never throw that stuff out because you never know, you can go back down. Sadly, I don't throw out the big clothes either. I should throw those out so that you can't fit it and then you're gonna go back on the diet, right? So a buddy of mine that I ran into yesterday as I was doing a review for a bike, I hadn't seen him since last year, just before winter hit. Yeah, I rode by his house once. He was actually on video. And so, yeah, we hadn't seen each other since that time. He was riding his bike, and I was riding the review bike. And he goes, yeah. He says, I heard you had some health issues. I go, yeah, I did. And he says, oh, you look pretty good, though. He says, look like you've lost some weight. I go, yeah, I've lost about 30 pounds. He said he also lost about 30 pounds since he retired about a year or so ago. So he's lost weight as well.
Turn right onto North Shenandoah Drive.
But he pedals everywhere he goes, and so I asked him how much distance had he been able to get on his bike. He has an electric XP. I think it's the original, or maybe the 2.0 version. I don't know what version he has. But he said he was able to get 60 miles out of that thing. That's amazing. That's not a huge battery, but he did have the upgraded battery pack, he said. But still, 60 miles for him on that 20-inch wheel bike, that's amazing. I could never get that. I throttle too much, that's the problem. And I go rather fast, so even if I pedal, I usually have the pedal assist kind of up, like 4 or 5. Well, right now I'm on pedal assist level 2. And I charged this bike up last night. I'm already down to 93% right now, based on a percentage.
Turn left onto the shared
So so we'll see if I can make it all the way there and back. I know I can make it there and back. The question is, how far into Bussy can I make it and back? Can't do the whole thing. It's too many miles. It will never happen. All right, still sniffling because even at 61 degrees or so, still a little chilly. I have my black sweat. Well, it's not a sweatshirt. It's a black jacket on. Got long pants on still. Haven't gone to shorts yet. Although later today, like I said, it's going to get a little bit warmer. And if I go out again, for whatever reason, I might switch to shorts then. But right now, no, I don't think so. All right, so what did I do for the map? You know, the thing is, every time I want to go to Bussy or someplace like that, I'm adjusting the camera here a little bit, I always forget the route. I do rely on the map to help me a lot. So according to this, I've got 5 more miles to get to Portillo's. Portillo's is in Rolling Meadows. I use that as my marker point because you got to give it an address in order for it to find it. If you just said, get me to Bussy Woods, it could drop you almost anywhere in Bussy Woods. Bussy Woods is pretty large. So I use that because once I get there, then I know where I can go. So I always tell it to get me to Portillo's and Rolling Meadows.
Next stop sign. Turn left.
Oh, I see a dead squirrel down there. Yeah, I almost ran over a squirrel the other day. You guys may have seen that in one of the videos. It was a close call, man. I did run over a squirrel once, but that was with the car. I could feel it. And people said if you had run over that squirrel, could have knocked you off the bike. I bet you it would have. Yeah, I bet you it would have. Because I could feel the thump, even on a car tire.
Turn left onto the shared path.
Turn left onto a shared path. I'm not going to go onto a shared path. Let's keep going straight. Let's see what happens. The shared path they're talking about is basically the sidewalk almost. Oh, I got to readjust my saddle here. That's not for me. He was honking a car over there.
Take a sharp left turn onto the shared path. Then turn right onto the shared path.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep going. I need to tighten up the saddle. I changed the seat post on this bike here. Let me hold on. Let me pull over for a second here. Let's put the kickstand down a little bit. Sorry about that. I know it's hard to see. I didn't tighten it up tight enough, and so it's shifting on me. I gotta turn the screw and then retighten. All right, there we go. Oh, let me show you real quickly what I did, dude. Yeah, that's the Freed Air Eden. See, I have my pack in the back there. And if you notice, I changed out the saddle. I also changed out the seat post. Got a longer seat post for me. I got a rear blinking light back there. Now they have their own too, but I never pulled the tab for it because the one that they supply, of course, is not really connected to the internal wiring of the bike. So you have to use batteries for that one. And so I figured, you know, I'm not going to do that. I have a blinking light that's brighter. I'm just going to use that. So that's what's there. All right, and I changed the saddle out to a Bikeroo saddle. It's one of the original ones that I had purchased initially that had this cushier feel to it than the current Bikeroos. The current Bikeroos are kind of stiff, so I hadn't been buying any more of those since that point. But this one was one of the older ones that was kind of laying around, so I says, yeah, let's use it. Yep, still sniffling. I'll be sniffling for a while.
Turn left onto West Oakton Street.
Alright, we gotta take a left here. And as I usually do, and I mentioned in other videos, is, you know, when I've slowed down or if I come to a stop, I'll usually throttle to get myself started, because that'll get you to the speed that you want to get to, and then you can start pedaling at that point if you want. So we're down to 90% at this point. We've got 4 miles to go to get there. Well, at least to get to Portillo's, that is. I had noticed that when I do pedal, if I come back and immediately take my blood pressure goes down. It does. So obviously exercise does help you. I always thought that if you exercised
In about 2 miles, turn left
and then you immediately take your blood pressure, it would go up because you're stressed from the exercising, right? No, it goes down. It actually goes down. So what are we averaging here? About 18, 19 miles an hour, give or take, something like that. I'm currently on pedal assist level 3. We're down to 89%. Let's go down to 2. Now, keep in mind too, as you lower that pedal assist. Oops, sorry, that was a stop sign. Didn't see it. I was looking at the pedal assist thing, and then I noticed it. I said, I'm not gonna slam on the brakes. I'll just keep going. There was nobody there anyway. Anyways, as you raise your pedal assist, you're gonna eat up battery more that way. And so I figured if I keep it down, pedal most of it, I should be able to make it there and back. Now, one thing I didn't do is I didn't reset the trip meter. I should have done that. Oh, too late. Too late. I need to get in the habit of resetting the trip meter after I get home after every ride. That way it's fresh and ready to go for you. But I keep forgetting to do that too. That's the forgetfulness. I blame it on age. We'll stay behind this car here. Some bikes would go past them, but then he's just going to pass you anyways. And then you've got this parked car here, so what are you going to do then? So best to just stay behind sometimes. Now in this case, there's no cars over there, so I'll go next to him at this point. I'll tell you, with the Eden and all the other step-through bikes, when I get off the bike, because I'm standing on the road, you can see I can move the bike here. Nothing holds the bike up. I mean, if you had a mid-step or a step-through or step-over type design, you got that top tube that kind of sits between your legs when you're standing, kind of holds the bike up. That doesn't happen on a step-through bike. If you get off the bike and you just let go, that bike's going over. All right, it's gonna fall left or right because there's nothing between your leg to hold it up. So getting used to that was a difference for me because I had always had step over bikes growing up, and even my first e-bike was a step over design. But when I finally got the first step through bike, I had to relearn that. I said, yeah, you can't let go of the bike. You got to hang on to that thing. But I've gotten used to step over bikes now, and because I'm getting older, you know, I can still swing my leg over the bike. I tend to tilt a step over bike. I tend to tilt the bike down and then I swing my leg around it, right? But now that I have step through designs, it's easier. Just step right through there, right? Instead of swinging your leg over. And besides, if you're carrying cargo in the back of a rear rack like I have right now, it's not too big on that one. But if you have some, you got to swing your leg over that thing too. Like, you know, some people use like a milk crate. That sticks up on a rear rack. That would mean that you'd have to. That would mean you would have to do the same thing on that. You'd have to swing it way over the top of that milk crate. So the step through makes it a little bit easier. Now I know a lot of people don't like it, you know, a lot of guys, because they say, well, that's a girl's bike. No, it isn't anymore. Not anymore. There's so many people now with step through bikes that are, especially older folks like us. Nobody says anything about it anymore. I mean, everyone understands. I mean, and they build these bikes so strong now. I mean, this Freedair Eden, man, it's built really strong. There's no problems with that thing. Now they still make a step over design too. It's basically the same bike but with an extra tube on the top, right? You can get that if you want to, but I think more people would be interested in something like this. Okay, this car's coming on strong. Make sure he stops before I go. I don't know if you guys saw that guy or not, but he was coming down pretty strong. Didn't even seem like he was slowing down. Always watch out for yourself. You know, don't trust anybody else. Oh, he's gonna stop. Well, what if he doesn't? And then you go, right? All right. So I throttled a little bit here. Gives me a way to kind of catch up a little bit. Now, again, from that slowed down stop-ish, I throttle up a little bit. And then when I get to a certain point, I'm at 15 miles per hour, I'll start pedaling again, right? We're not going fast. We're not for a race today or anything like that. We're just trying to get someplace. And I kept thinking about other places we can go. And as you know, I've done the Botanic Gardens in my area. That's a hefty amount of ride. That's a 60+ mile ride. I can't do that on a single battery. Sometimes I can't even do it on 2 batteries. Yeah. Oh, look, somebody got TP'd. You know what TP is? There, take a look. Look at that tree. So when does that happen? Well, usually if it's like a football game or something, you know. Said my speed 15 miles an hour. I was doing 15, 16. So yeah, when they have a football game for high school or whatever, you know, then they'll come out and they'll TP the the football players or the cheerleaders. My daughter was on pom-pom squad when she was in middle school, and they TP'd our house. TP is toilet paper for those that don't know. Okay, we gotta take a left here, but I'm gonna let this person go past here first. Yeah, they TP'd our house because she was on the pom-pom squad, and it was, I don't know, it was like 9:30 at night. They rang our doorbell and ran because they want you to see it. And then when we saw it, we took it all down. My daughter was sleeping. She never even saw it. We took it down before she even got a chance to see it. What a waste of toilet paper. What a waste of toilet paper. But that's kids, you know. All right, we gotta cross the street, see if there's anybody coming, and there's no cars coming. We're taking it. Yeah, that's the first time I've been able to do that with hardly even stopping. Usually there's cars at that intersection. All right, so now we're gonna approach the area. Sniffing again. We're gonna approach the area that this sign here up ahead says that you got to take the sidewalk. I don't know if you can read that. Bike route, use right lane of sidewalk. See, so You got to get up on the sidewalk. They don't want you on the main street, is what they're saying. They want you on the sidewalk instead. So let's do it. I think this is the only road that basically tells you you got to get up on the sidewalk.
At the light, turn left onto South Fernandez Avenue.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're at 84% of our battery at this point. So what I do is I cross this road here. Then when I'm up on the sidewalk, I push the button. See, the thing is, if you don't push the button and if there's no cars to set off the road sensors, you'll be standing there forever. See, push button. That way, you'll at least get the light to change when it's time, and it'll give you a signal saying it's okay to go. Now we got some left turners in front of us, so I'm pretty sure they can see me because I can see the guy staring at the bike. People always stare at the bike. Well, maybe they're staring at me. He's a big guy on a bike. He's got a yellow vest on. So sometimes they look at the bike, sometimes they look at me. I think when I was 30 pounds heavier, I looked even worse on the bikes. But being 30 pounds lighter, not as bad. Okay, there's an ambulance or something coming our way. I hear it. Because we're right next to a hospital here. All right.
In half a mile, turn right onto West Widow Street.
All right. We're getting there. 1.7 miles to get to Portillo's. Bussy Woods is only like another mile from there, but it's a bit. Yeah, we're almost there. I guess I got to take advantage of going to places like Bussy while I can, because like I said, when the cicadas come out, I'm not going to want to get anywhere close to anything that has lots of trees and grass and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. At least I don't think I'm going to do that. We'll see. Sniffling way too much. I think this is the most I've pedaled on camera in a long time, and it's just, you can tell I don't sound as winded as I would have been had I been heavier. Alright, it says turn here, so let's turn here.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto South New Wilkie Road.
Alright, when we get to South New Wilkie Road, I'm probably going to throttle that because it's going to be on a major street. So yeah, the free air works pretty good. I kind of like these curved handlebars. You know, people have asked me, do you like the curved bars? Do you like the straight ones? In general, I'm a straight bar kind of guy.
At the next light, turn left.
I like this particular curve on here. It's a handlebar made by Zoom. Yeah, you do feel a little closer in. It's like my arms aren't hanging out as wide because the curvature of this thing brings it closer to you. So it is a different feel. All right, let's see if we can even trigger this thing. I don't know if we can or we can't. Oh, it's gonna turn. All right, our turn to go. So it looks like they've got some road construction stuff going on here. I'm gonna stay on the inside part of this. I don't think cars are supposed to be on this lane, so I'm gonna take the lane. Taking the lane means you're gonna basically be right near the middle of the lane. I think they're all pushed over to the left side because of the construction. All right, be careful over here. And now we lose the construction, so now it's open for everybody. You're actually not too far from the Chinese carryout. All right, in certain parts of the world they call it takeaway. Yeah, I learned that from some Chinese friends who live in Hong Kong. Yeah, they call it, oh, let's go to the takeaway. I go, what do you mean takeaway? Here in the US we call it carryouts. No, takeaway. No, I'm not gonna get that. As much as I would like to, I'm not gonna get that. Yeah, I gotta stay on that strict diet. Keep that 30 pounds off. All right, let's get moving here. All right, so now, since we're in the open road, I'm gonna stay closer to the, about a third of the lane in. So which means if the guy that's on my lane wants to pass me, he's gonna have to move over or he's gonna have to be stuck behind me. I'm not gonna go full blast. I'm trying to conserve my battery. So they're doing about 22, 23 miles an hour right now. And the guy's still staying behind me. He's not moving. I think sometimes people see up ahead of us we have a red light. I think he knows, well, if I get ahead of him, what's the point? It's gonna be stopped anyway. But there are people like the guy in front of me. Yeah, he went around. They don't want to be stuck behind you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up on the sidewalk here because I got to hit that. I've got to hit that that signal thing, and to get there, it's easier just take the sidewalk up here.
Turn right onto off-road.
This is a sharp turn. Oh, sorry, got to go up on the grass. They make it too sharp, you can't turn, right? All right, we didn't get the signal, so we're gonna have to wait for these people who are turning. We're gonna let them turn first, get them out of the way, and then I'll go. Yeah, we didn't get the signal. We didn't get there fast enough.
Turn right.
All right. So this is the area. Anyways, where that intersection was, that's where Portillo's was. I'm going to end the route here because we don't need it anymore. So Bussy Woods is ahead of us. I'm at 80%. We can go into Bussy a little bit, we just can't do the whole thing. And then eventually I'll turn back around and head back. Under the viaduct right now. Thing is, if your battery drops to 50% level, you've got to head back, because if you've eaten up 50% of your battery getting there, you need 50% of your battery to get back, right? But I think what I'll do is I'll make sure I don't go past 60-65%. If I do 60-65%, I got to start heading back. You can't guarantee that 0 is where your bike will be at. I've had bikes cut out when it said like 12%, 13%, you know. So I don't want to be pedaling a heavy bike back. That's the whole point. I mean, pedaling now is not so hard because you got a motor helping you, but if you lose out on the motor, then you've got to do all the work yourself. That's too much. Recently I had a gentleman ask me whether carrying a certain bike up 2 flights of stairs would be something that's feasible. My response to him was, no. I said, if the bike is like 70 pounds, carrying it up 2 flights of stairs would be really tough to do. I mean, unless you work out so well that 70 pounds doesn't mean anything to you, but it does mean a lot to me. I would never be able to do that. I have a hard enough time moving up a couple steps, you know. People have asked me before, why don't you put all your bikes in your basement? because I've got like, I don't know how many steps there is for that. Was that maybe 10 or 15 steps? I'm not going to move the bike up and down 10 or 15 steps even. That's impossible. And it's narrower too to get down those basement steps. So yeah, I can't do it. It'd be impossible. I mean, if I was able to do it, yeah, I could take as many bikes as I want. But as you know, I'm very selective on which bikes I take. I won't take bikes that I don't think have some merit to it, or have something unique that stands it out a little bit at least. Now, the one exception to the rule of that is if I've been working with a company already, and we have a good working relationship, they come up with a motto and they says, can you review this bike too? I will usually do it, okay? But if it's a brand new company I haven't worked with before, I'm not familiar with them, or their bike doesn't really stand out other than, you know, it looks like everybody else's bike, I usually won't even take it. People have said, you know, you should take them anyways because it's money. You know, you could end up selling it. Nah, okay, I understand that, but no. No, I don't think so. You know, my hope is that when I get a bike, I don't just do the review. I want to ride it for a while, make some additional videos with it. It gives me something to ride, something to talk about when I'm doing my daily rides, and it helps promote the company too. I mean, they spent money to give it to me. Least I could do is help them, right? And I don't want to be help you know, a bike that I don't really believe in. You know, I don't see the point of that. Of course, others have said that, you know, when you don't take those bikes, you're not giving us the chance to make the decision. Yeah, I'm kind of making it for you. I mean, the thing is, I mean, you can see those other bikes on other channels if you want. It's just not going to come from me, that's all. Others have said that, you know, if Russ has reviewed the bike, there's got to be a reason for it, and so they pay attention to the ones that I review. I appreciate that, because, you know, that's been my philosophy from the start. I never got into this whole thing with the e-bikes just to become a bike reviewer. No, I never did. In fact, I didn't really even want to do it initially. It was our subscriber John, who I've never met, but we've become good friends, talking to each other, you know, every now and then. I've never met him. He lives in our general area, but it was because of him who said, you know, you should try reviewing a couple of these bikes that they're offering to you. I said, you know, I really don't want to become a reviewer. I mean, there's even a video out. If you watch it, it says I don't have any intention of reviewing bikes. That was way early, like a little over 3 years ago. I even said that in video. I don't really have the intention to do it. And then he says, well, you know, take one or two, see what it goes, see how it goes, see if you like it. Yeah, it turned out I actually liked it, and so I started reviewing the bikes. And I've learned a lot since that point about e-bikes in general, right? I'm gonna pass them here. Good morning. So overall, I'm glad I get the opportunity, that the manufacturers give me the opportunities, but I feel a responsibility to them too. If I take a bike on, unless it's totally bad, I make a bad judgment call and I bring something in and I don't like it for whatever reason, then I usually won't do that much more videos with it. I'll do my obligation that I said I would, and then that's about it. But and other times I will I might move a product on simply because I'm running out of space. As you know, I have a limited space. So and that's when I really feel bad. I feel bad that the bike is going away because I've got no choice. You know, I have to move it on so that the new review bikes will come in. So that happened recently. The X24 was a bike I kind of liked, and yeah, I ended up having to sell it because I'm running out of space. Something had to go, so I said, well, let's let this one go. Let's see what happens. And yeah, and what happened was one of our subscribers, or I don't know if he subscribes, but he watches my videos. He told his parents about it, and they came by and they picked it up, right? So hopefully it's doing well. I appreciate it very much, but I still miss it. It's a unique bike. I like the uniqueness of it, and it was a 24-inch wheel. Yeah. Now it's not really the wheel size that's the big deal, but you know they size it accordingly, and it's a step over bike. So when I stepped over that thing, I had plenty of clearance. I didn't have to worry about that thing hitting areas I don't want it to hit. I could step over that thing. You know, I mean, when I stop, I can straddle it, and it was fine. And that's because the bike is sized for a 24-inch wheel, and so the frame height is a little bit lower. So, but not every manufacturer does 24-inch wheels. Some do, not all of them. But that was the only 24-inch wheel one that I had. I had an opportunity with Area 13 when they offered me their Blackbird. That also came in 24 or 26. I asked for the 26, not knowing that maybe the 24 should have been a better choice for me, because that's a fairly big bike too. I ended up having to move that one along as well. But that was a 26 that I had. All right, going up this this incline is no problem at all. You know, you just pedaling. It's got torque sensor. I'm not tired out from the torque sensor. I'm still pedaling. So yeah, you can do it. All right, now here, Bussy Woods, right? Bussy Woods has Bussy Lake in here. Straight ahead, you might be able to see the water. I don't know if you can tell from this angle. GoPros always make it look far away, but it's not that far away from me. Bussy Lake goes all over the place. It's pretty big. And so Fishing Jim and I will probably be doing that along with our friend Gail. The three of us have been going fishing in the past, and we were going to do it this past Tuesday, but it didn't turn out that way. Maybe next week, but I saw that it might rain next week, so I don't know. We were trying to decide what day is best to go fishing. We said Tuesday is really the best day for all of us, so if it doesn't happen on Tuesday, it doesn't happen at all. Oh, it can't happen this Tuesday. I have a lunch appointment with my brother and my two high school friends. We do this every quarter of the year. I told you that. One of us will have a birthday pretty much every quarter of the year, so that's the time we get together, catch up on what we've been up to for the last quarter of the year. So yeah, no fishing on Tuesday next week. Sorry guys. Now I know a couple of you guys that said, "Hey Russ, why don't you take us fishing too? You know, show some fishing." I do have a couple fishing videos. Never really got that much traction. People didn't really seem interested in it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll bring the 360 camera, just let it run. That way I don't have to pay attention to it. All I have to do is see, there's a guy out here fishing. A couple guys out here fishing. I don't have to pay attention to it. Just put it on a tripod and let it record. And if anyone catches anything, I could always reposition the 360, right? Because you don't have to even aim that thing, because it's recording, you know, all over the place really. So, but yeah, we'll hit up Bussy Woods. Bussy Woods is close by. It's not that far. I mean, well, okay, relatively close by, I should say. The alternative is we hit Lake Michigan and do some salmon fishing, but I don't know whether we're going to do that anytime soon. All right, I think that's enough. This video is getting kind of long for you guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching me ride the free deer again. I'm going to take some photos for free deer too. They asked if I could take some shots of the bike. maybe this would be a nice area to do that in, you know. So anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, take a look at the Free Dare's website. And you know, there's an affiliate link. I appreciate it when you use that link to get there. That way they know that I sent you there. Whether you buy it or you don't, at least they know that people are clicking on that, and that you've had some interest at least to check out their website, right? And if you like it, go ahead and buy one. Doesn't hurt. Okay, your pocketbook hurts a little bit, but just think about all the things you gain from having an e-bike, all right? All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.